know who did this shooting, by the way. We don't know who did this shooting, by the way. The Super Bowl shooting.
We have some idea.
We don't know who did this shooting, by the way. The Super Bowl shooting.
We have some idea.
What?
If it were a white man shooting, we'd know.
Facts.
Well, we don't know.
That's how we know it's not a white man. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
You think they were repressing that reporting?
They would quickly say the race if a white, yeah, if a white guy did what took place at the parade, yeah. The bias is crazy. They every time a white soul does a crime, they the race, the yeah, they say the race, with no, with they 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 say the race with the quickness, the quickness.
We don't know who did this
But
shooting,
if
by the way.
a black soul does a crime, they don't say the race, because it does not fit the narrative. They don't say the race. Uh, when- yeah, they don't say the race because it does not fit the narrative. The narrative. They don't say the race because it does not fit the narrative. Facts.
We don't know who did this shooting, by the way. The Super Bowl shooting.
We have some idea.
What?
If it were a white man shooting, we'd know.
Okay.
Well, we don't.
I agree.
That's how we know it's not a white man. I can tell you that much.
Do you think they were repressing that reporting?
They wouldn't tell us about the.
Well, we don't know.
That's how we know it's not a white man. I can tell you that much.
Do you think they were repressing that reporting?
They
Yes,
wouldn't tell
I
us
think.
about the transgender woman shot up the Christian school.
Yeah, the
for
Nashville.
what, like a year?
Yeah, the manifesto.
San Bernardino out here.
Hold up.
The crazy terrorist Muslims.
Yeah,
Transgender woman
that
shot up the
bozo
Christian school
that
for what,
shot
like
six
a
people,
year?
that slayed six
Oh,
people.
San Bernardino out here.
The staff
That,
people.
transgender woman shot up the Christian school for what, like a year? San Bernardino out here.
Cali.
Remember the crazy terrorist Muslims? And that's when I first noticed, they're not telling us who it is. It's not a white male. The longer they go without telling you, it's not a white male.
Okay, well, we don't. For this one, for right now.
Based.
The longer they go without telling you, it's not a white male.
Okay, well.
What
we don't-
AC
for this
said
one, for
was
right
based,
now,
G.
As of Friday night, February
What
16th.
AC said was based. What AC said was based.
The longer they go without telling you, it's not a white male.
Okay, well, we don't. For this one, for right now, as of Friday night, February 16th.
We know.
We don't officially know. Okay, you know, you have special powers.
Well. Look what we have here. Should be no surprises to anybody with an ounce of common sense in regards to what the profile of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl shooters, murderers, mass shooters look like, okay? And it's as expected. The only thing
Yeah.
that is different from what we expected is that apparently 2 adults are being charged with murder along with the 2 juveniles, aka young astronauts, that are also facing gun charges and other
Yeah.
charges related to
BCP, he's a fool, bro. The sarcasticness. Yeah.
astronauts.
The
that are also
the
facing gun charges and other
sarcasticness.
charges.
The sarcasticness. The sarcasticness.
Look like,
Funny, bro.
okay? And
BCP.
is as expected. The only thing that is different from what we expected is that apparently 2 adults are being charged with murder, along with the 2 juveniles, aka young astronauts, that are also facing gun charges and other charges related to what happened with this incident. So now we have more information coming out from the mainstream of the media about what happened and who was involved in this shooting. And I want to talk about it. I want you guys to notice something very important that I think is of public interest for the media to actually show people, but they're not showing people for whatever reason. I don't know, right? But we do know, we all know that, you have the woke revolutionaries claiming it's a conspiracy, okay? Which is that they're not showing the suspects' faces for a reason, okay? The left is saying that the right is pushing a conspiracy that the media is trying to cover up the suspects. However, now we have the names of the suspects. You can't say they're not juveniles, but yet you are having really, really, really hard time finding pictures of these 2 suspects, even though we have their names, we know their identities. Seems like the mainstream media doesn't really want to put their pictures out there for the world to see, because a lot of the pictures they have, they're not going to paint a certain demographic in a good light. So without further ado, roll the clip.
We begin with that breaking news from the Jackson County Prosecutor's
Facts.
Office. Good
What
afternoon,
BCP
and Laura
said
Woods.
And I'm
was-
Kelly Epperman. ABC 9's
what-
Matt Evans was
what
at the
BCP
news conference
said
where she announced those
was
charges. And now these new
facts.
charges are against 2 adults, not the 2 teens already in custody.
That's right. It should be noted, Kelly, that there are now 4 people.
What BCP said
So without further ado,
was
roll the clip.
facts.
We begin
What
with that breaking
BCP said was
Yeah.
facts.
They're
What
not
BCP said was facts.
going to paint a certain demographic in a good light.
Yeah.
So without further ado, roll the clip.
We begin with that breaking news from the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office. Good afternoon, I'm Laura Woods.
And I'm Kelly Epperman. ABC 9's Matt Evans was at the news conference where she announced those charges. And Matt, these new charges are against 2 adults, not the 2 teens already in custody.
That's right. It should be noted, Kelly, that there are now 4 people facing charges in that Chiefs parade shooting from last week, including those 2 juveniles and now 2 adults whose charges were unsealed just hours ago, earlier on this afternoon. And also the prosecutor mentioning today that more charges could still be coming in the coming days and the coming weeks. Here's what we know about those charges filed today. Now, it should be noted, both the people facing charges were shot, and they are still in the hospital today. Lindell Mays of Raytown, Missouri, and Dominic Miller of Kansas City are each facing second-degree murder charges of unlawful use of a weapon and 2 counts each of armed criminal action. Prosecutors say they got into some kind of an argument right after the rally ended, and that resulted in both of them shooting at each other and into the crowd.
Wow.
That argument very quickly
Crazy.
escalated to
Sad.
Mays drawing
Sad.
his
Sad.
firearm, a handgun. Mays
Each of armed criminal
Odious.
action. Prosecutors say
Detestable.
they got into some kind of an argument right after the rally ended.
No civility,
That
bro.
resulted in both of them shooting at each other and into the crowd.
No sagacity, no.
that argument
Yeah.
very quickly escalated to Mays drawing his firearm, a handgun.
Stupidity, bro.
Mays pulled
Now
his
they gotta
handgun first.
serve. They got to
Almost
serve
immediately-
time
almost
because of that BS. That stupidity.
that argument very quickly escalated to Mays drawing his firearm, a
Crazy.
handgun.
Crazy.
Mays pulled his handgun first. Almost immediately, others pulled their firearms. Defendant Miller was one of those individuals.
And prosecutors believe it was a bullet from defendant Miller's gun that killed Lisa Lopez Galvin. Now, as far as exactly the relation between these 2, according to prosecutors, they did not know each other before this argument and before the rally. They also would not comment if either one are connected to those 2 juveniles that are also facing charges. They also wouldn't say exactly how many other shooters or suspects they may still be looking for, as this is still a very active investigation, according to the prosecutor. Although they do say that they expect more charges very soon. Both Miller and Mays still in the hospital. When they're released, they'll be held on $1 million bond.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, now this is Mr. Lindell Mays, okay, who is suspect that pulled out his gun first, and then apparently the other guy, whose name is Miller, last name Miller, Dominique Miller, I believe. He pulled out his gun, I guess, second, and then they started spraying and praying. Okay, that's when they started doing. They started shooting at each other. Sounds to me like it possibly could be gang related. They say it was over an argument. There's not many details about what was the argument about, right?
Yeah.
What type of argument are you having at a Super Bowl parade that warrants pulling out guns on each other and trying to kill each other? And also, again, spraying and praying into a crowd of people. To the point where you have dozens of people getting shot.
Craziness.
One woman was killed.
Wildness.
Allegedly, the bullet that killed Miss Lisa Lopez came from Miller's gun. Now, this is Miller, allegedly, okay, because in this case, there was a guy that appeared to be arrested, and it turns out that he wasn't involved, okay, that's what it seems like. So, you gotta see a ledge with this stuff, because, you know, this is the internet journalists, right, finding pictures of these guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if, again, the other suspect, Miller, does in fact look like this. In fact, that is what I expect. I would be surprised if he didn't look like this. Okay, is anybody surprised? I don't think anybody's surprised. Okay, so might as well be his picture, right? Because that's probably what he looks like. So again, I'm not sure, but a lot of these websites won't show their pictures. Okay, I mean, you got some websites like Daily Mail, they'll show some pictures, but a lot of them won't. Okay, they won't show the pictures because they don't want you to know what they look like. They quite literally are saying, well, this doesn't fit the narrative, so therefore we're not going to show you. Now again, if you remember the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, okay, Ethan Crumbly, okay, these other, you know, mass shooters that commit these acts of violence, and I would say that Kyle Rittenhouse is not necessarily a mass shooter per se. He was engaging in self-defense, but I'm saying, you guys know what I'm saying. They had no problem showing their faces immediately, right? In fact, they had no problem ruining Kyle Rittenhouse's life, even though he wasn't found guilty of murder, and he was acting in self-defense. In fact, they're still trying to ruin his life.
Crazy.
And they had no problem revealing his identity and going after him. But
he's
all
white,
of a
that's
sudden, when
why.
it comes to these individuals, they're saying, oh no, they're juveniles, so we can't reveal
Bias,
their identity,
bias.
which we know is not true. Now, come to
I
find
hate
out
bias.
that the actual murderers are not juveniles, and they're still trying to cover it up, right? They're still trying to cover up, not show you what they look like,
not
who they are. It's really despicable.
Yes.
Okay, and there's no other explanation for it
Detestable,
outside of, well,
odious.
they're trying to cover it up because
To
they
be
don't
execrated.
want to push certain stereotypes, okay, about certain demographics of people. And that's an extremely dangerous thing to do in our society.
Yes. Yes. I will check out the rest later. Yeah. He spoke facts. The truth is not to be disputed. Straight up.